or that he may not call them to account by the process of slow wastage. For thy Lord is indeed full of kindness. This slow wastage, it's one of my favorite passages. And I didn't mean to be here this long on this subject, but it's appropriate. Slow wastage, but now accelerated wastage on all levels in every way and in everything. Slow wastage in economy. The U.S. has lost out in the global. All the ships now come, it's a one-way trip. They come and unload and they go back empty. Because the U.S. is not producing anything that anybody can buy. It was like, it's not like that now, but when I was in Iran in '89, during the war, well, the war was just over. When you went, like going down to Bandar Abbas and to other highways like that, we would drive going down on the wrong side because that was smooth. On the other side, going up to Tehran, it was a good highway, but it was all rough and beat up, all the trucks going up from the port, from Bandar Abbas and all those ports. Just, Iran wasn't producing nothing. You couldn't get hardly nothing. They was fighting a war with their oil. There was so much smoke in Tehran, you could cut it with a spoon. It was unbelievable. It was just, but it's better now. Everything is better now. When you talk about sanctions, those things are still going on. But Iran does not look like it did in those days. And there are cranes all over. Not like U.S. cities. And the city is spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. And that's in every city in Iraq. Okay. So we wanted to do those ayats. So the people, if you think the Roman Empire or the Babylonian civilization didn't have a scheme, or the king didn't put together a panel or a group of people to study what's happening to us. You know, okay, what can we do to get our mojo working again? All of them did that. All of them had plans and schemes, but they all went for nothing. Okay, if we have the pleasure and the honor and the privilege of explaining all of this to people, that's okay. So this is we're participating in the great American Islamic experience. We have a chance to attack the pro-Zionist network in America. And we're putting together our package right now. Or if I speak like we're going to do this, we are doing right now what we've been thinking about and planning about and working on. We're actually doing it. So the great experience for us is not only DC, Oakland, LA, and all of that, but we had no illusions about tradition here in America. That's why we never wasted time with Oakland. We told the people, man, they're gonna do something, they're gonna sell our property, they're gonna do this. And we would, almost brainwash the people until they would call out there and tell them to steal the property. But we did that on purpose. Because there's no sense wasting your time. We're not going to run around with our like a chicken with their head cut off, back and forth, doing what? If you want that, you keep it for a while, and we're going to charge you for it. There's no way they can keep nothing. With our accounts, now, that's not their thinking. They're thinking, we break this nigga down, we show these people that you don't have no support nowhere. So one day the place is full, next there's nobody there. Good, nobody there. Fine. See, they should have messed with somebody with no experience. They should have messed with somebody that was prepared to take a butt whooping and go lay down somewhere. They shouldn't have messed with nobody that was going to be thinking and high-spirited and strategic by nature. And maybe they had been trained for this exact job. So all they had to do was some small thinking about what is your job at this particular time? What is the best way to implement that? And that's what we got. So we'll spend a few minutes talking about, now this talk right now is a rehearsal for next week for a dry run. We may distribute this lecture, but I'm sure the one we do either tomorrow or the next day, and we can get it back by Friday. This might be a dry run for that, or it might be, we might put two in the package. Because during this period of time, during the next month, we're going to pass out a new flyer, a new welcome flyer to get to know you type flyer, but updated, and we'll have 1 or 2 CDs in it. And we'll also suggest that everybody jump drive and copy all of, we're going to do it ourselves, because we've copied all of our lectures on those jump drives, but we suggest you go back to 2019 of January and start there. That's when I went into the hospital, I think. Was it January 2019?
December?
I went in, I got back here in December, but I went all the days I remember are like January.
Right.
But I did go in on the 29th and what have you, something like December. But if our people go back and copy all the lectures from January of 2019 up to now, we're going to get 2 copies of our own. We have copies of a lot of the stuff, and we have copies of everything we do. But we want to make it more widespread. It's just a security against, see, we just slipped up on Boss Man, and we're going to cut off the corners to make disappear all of this stuff. Remember, we've tried it in the public court already, over and over again. That redundancy, we didn't redundancize this guy so much that somebody only have to get every 8th or 9th DVD. They don't have to get everyone up because of redundancy. But we want them to get every last one up.
And when you hear certain talk, it seems like that's a part of his plan is to erase history. He's trying to erase people's history.
He will erase.
Right.
Okay, he thought that he would be erasing us. But number one, we got all of our stuff already.
Right.
We got a hard copy, and we got most of the hard copies duplicated. See, we got all our legal, we got all that duplicated. Now he comes around and tries to pick it off, but he can't pick off all of it. And we know that. And then we got jump drives. And then we got, now we understand that most of the people on these are like probably they're monitors or maybe they're friendly with the government. It's okay. It makes no difference. Like we said week before last, these CDs and DVDs will become so valuable that as our people give them to boss man or sell them to the boss man, they ought to duplicate them and resell them, boss man. There you go, we got these right here, and you have 5 duplicates of each, and they sell them the same thing over and over again. Because boss man, look, boss man have had nobody to sit down to his face and tell him, this is what's going to happen to you, son. And the people are saying it with confidence that like they have not foreknowledge, but they got, you know, you can bet on this. And that's the way it's been. And boss man have been suffering from miscall, misfires, bad luck. That boy got, he got one of them old southern diseases. You know, he got a bad reading, he got a bad sign, he got all that voodoo stuff that did it. He acts like that. That boy's under a bad sign. He can't do nothing right. No matter what he does. And then for him to be at this time when you need somebody clear thinking and energetic and smart at both times, well, at the time before last, they pulled old dumb Don out there. Don had 51 cases of fraud, you know, and not paying people. And then, what's the name is older than I am? But he's been lying all this time, and we've been telling the truth. So he gets crossed up, and don't get him going, because he'll, that boy is, you know what I'm saying? He got it going on, or going off. And the world is laughing at it. But you got to remember now, I want you to think about the discombobulating effect that what we said, we're going to clown boss man. This is over 10, 15 years old. Air Wars is 20-something years way back, right? These things are what's happening to him. We didn't outline it, and we told everybody that we taking credit for all of that. Of course, we know that everything is, the Lord's hooking up, and remember we said, we going, you know, you messing with us, this is why you getting booked right now. And the world is laughing at you. And the world is laughing at Hashim. The world is laughing at Abdul Malik now. I mean, the foreigners might be giving them money to go back and forth and all that. But they the ones, you know, everybody know that Malcolm Shabazz was associated with them, and he even said on the radio that he give allegiance to Hashim Alauddin, right? And the world heard it. And they sent him down to Mexico to get beat to death with a baseball bat. These guys are ruthless, man. They would have did the same thing to me if they could have engineered it. But to me, it was like, I'm just telling you the truth, to me it was like dealing with children. But Malcolm didn't have anything to deal with those. He thought everything was as it was presented, and plus his lifestyle and all the girlfriends, he couldn't think straight. And I saw a lot of guys like that come out of prison. I know people, I'm not going to call their name, but if they got out of the penitentiary 30 years ago and we tried to go up to New York, give them a little something, and tell them, you know, we'll fill you up on what's going on. And he got a cutie pie there already. I mean, you know, he's been gone 30 years at that time. And now they've been out, that's 30 years. They've been out of prison as long as I've been here. They didn't have time to do something. They haven't done nothing. Get in a couple of fights and people beat them up or something like that, I don't know. Then they come right in here and they come with the people that, it's outrageous that people are going to be over WPFW and everybody knows who's who, what's what, and they never call you over there, hardly once or twice every now and then. And they say, I'm going to get my law degree to help you. I said, well, okay, you got your degree, now start helping. Oh, you can't find them. Oh, look, we know who you are, you know what you've been doing. Why not, see, people give boss man too much respect for too long. Even when the boss man is through, they don't know he's through because they're looking at it through their lens. They're looking at it through the lens that boss man gave them. So through that boss man lens that he give you, boss man always look good no matter what he do. That's why he done trained and educated all the people, and he's still like boss man. He got something up his sleeve. Yes, he does. Yeah, he got something up his sleeve. A whole lot of Vaseline and grease. Okay. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit. We talked about Imam's passing. We talked about the jump drives. We mentioned a little bit about counter-espionage, discombobulation. And that's what we do with expertise. All these things we talk about, strategic management, we're the best in the African-American community for decades. That's just the way it is. We're just, I mean, look, first of all, there's nobody here. There's nobody, all the people are in the welfare line, in boss man's line. Nobody's out there with us. And if you're out in the woods, you're going to get sharper and smarter. Somebody told a story about the wolf and the dog. I don't know if I ever told you. And the wolf was walking by the fence. Now the wolf got all the ticks and fleas and stuff in him. And he walking by the thing, and he said, the dog behind the fence, he got big fluffy coat, got the house back there, the dog he say, man, I'm down for that. So he started to climb over the fence. He said, oh, what's that thing around your neck? He said, oh, that's a collar. And the boss man, he put a rope on it, he can carry me anywhere, take me anywhere. So the wolf got back out in the woods. He said, man, he had enough sense to know, no matter how fluffy and healthy, if boss man arranges your programs, so is 10,000 people there cheering you. You got a rope around your neck, right? And all the people on the circuit, all the top beers. So, if we stay out here, that's fine. See, there are certain things as maturity and movement. People don't get a chance to mature in movement, and they don't, like now, they don't even try, because it's been so many decades. When they killed, it was something in an old movie, that old movie about Panther. Remember the old movie Panther, and they're supposed to have J. Edgar Hoover, and he's saying something about Martin Luther King. He said, they'll never have a Messiah again unless we make him, right? And the people that made the movie had enough sense to know that that is true then. They haven't had nobody since then. Nobody. They haven't had, and they don't have. And I heard this man from Oakland the other day, Burroughs, and the people was telling me about it. I said, man, I went to that man's office. I said, I ain't going. I said, I went to that man's office. They had a screen. He's the same age as I am. I said, man, that man might as well be ha-cha-cha-cha, or nigga that can't, Negro that can't talk. I said, them Negroes, no,